16 years ago, I got to ride my horses from Montana all the way down to Mexico. It didn't go as I had planned. I had this idea that I was just gonna be let through the border, you know.
Of course.
Just keep on riding down the freeway. I got down to Tucson, Arizona, just outside. Got a job on this horse ranch to make a little bit of money. And while I was there, I met this young man who became a dear friend of mine named David. After about 2.5 months of working with David side by side, it was his time to take a little vacation. And he'd been working there for about 1.5 years, and he hadn't seen his family, and he'd amassed enough money to take some time off and go see them. Well, we got in this old Jeep, and we left my horses there for a time, and we rode down through the interior of Mexico. We bypassed the enormous city of Mexico City. Drove for 2 days straight, and just as the sun was rising, we arrived in this tiny little town called Dr. Mora, named after a doctor who came to that area to help the people, and the people never forgot. And in that morning light, David got out of the Jeep, and his mother greeted him at the gate. And she stood there with her arms wide open. And David walked up to her and took off his hat and kneeled down in front of her. And she blessed him. And after her prayer, he rose and he embraced his mother. A very long time. His mother, whose name was Lupe, was the midwife in that town of Dr. Mora. At that time, she was perhaps 70 or so, full of life, with creases in her face from all the smiling she had done over her lifetime. And everywhere that Lupe went, she was called Ma Lupe. And everybody who had been born in that town for the last 50 years had been born with the help of Ma Lupe. And she was revered in that community. And the people were constantly stopping by with food and gifts in thanks and in reverence. I got to spend some time with Ma Lupe in her tiny little kitchen, the clay oven, and the earthen floor, where she made every morsel by hand and by scratch. And she spread as much love through her food as she did with the care that she gave all the mothers in that town, and all the babies in that town, and all the grown-ups who used to be babies that she helped along. "13 years later, My wife tells me that she's pregnant with my little girl. I didn't get to be around the birth of my oldest daughter. And I had met her when she turned 4 years old, along with her mother. And for a man who came from a family that only knew about medical things
I just didn't want to fall in.
and taught the babies
Get your jacket on.
arrive into this world best and safest in a place of sterility and machines and tubes. I didn't know any other way at that time. I didn't know anything at that time. And through the stories, the birth stories of friends who had these magical people in their lives called midwives, we came here to this place, this property, this building. Love. 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 Care. Selflessness. Patience. Comfort. Wisdom. I can see the edge of the window in the room where my daughter was born. And she did not come gently. Fast and Furious is true. But for the 12 to 14 hours prior to that Fast and Furious, there was a lot of anticipation, fear, on my part in particular. And we arrived about 7 minutes before she came, as I recall. It happened to be a Sunday, and I remember thinking that, well, nobody's going to be here. And it just so happened that there were about 6 or 7 of you. And there are these moments that I remember, and I will always remember, when I felt life was hanging right there in the balance. The life of the person that I love the most in this world, the life of this child that I have waited for my whole life, hanging right there in the balance. Love. Skill. Communication. Knowledge. Wisdom.